Hi students, welcome to Evershine Coaching Center. Myself Shah Faisal sir here. Dear students, today I am going to continue the chapter electricity. And we are going to discuss today very important concept of this chapter, that is Ohm's law. Before we start up this topic, I just like to tell you that in case if you have not subscribed our channel, so please do subscribe it so that you will be getting the latest notifications and also you will be getting the updates of our further classes. Is this clear? Good. Now let's begin the concept Ohm's law. Children, what exactly this Ohm's law is going to tell us? See children, Ohm's law relates to potential difference applied across an electrical appliance. We are applying a potential difference across an electrical appliance to the current produced in it. This is what the Ohm's law is relates. Ohm's law ಇಂದ ನಾವೇನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ Ohm's law ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ potential difference applied across an electrical appliance. ಒಂದು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಅಪ್ಲಯನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ನಾವೇನು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಟು ದ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇನ್ ಇಟ್. ಅದರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತೀವಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅದರಿಂದ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. How much current is produced? If in case if you are applying the potential difference for any electrical device, how much current is produced in the device, that we are going to study by using the topic Ohm's law. Ohm's law से हमारे को क्या पता चलता है? जब हम एक पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस एक इलेक्ट्रिकल सर्किट को अप्लाई कर रहे हैं तो उसमें कितना करंट प्रोड्यूस हो रहा है हम उसको जान सकते हैं. अगर से आप 5 वोल्ट उतना पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस उसमें अप्लाई किए तो उसमें कितना करंट जनरेट हो रहा है वो हम इस Ohm's law से सीख सकते हैं. Okay, now see children, this is your very important question. They may ask you in your board exam, write the or draw the or write the electric circuit to study the Ohm's law. So this is the electric circuit what we are going to study here. So this is our electric circuit. See children, first we have connected means we have taken a battery, we have connected this to ammeter and then it is connected to a resistor. Now ammeter is connected in series and we can see here this is the voltmeter, this is connected parallel. So ammeter is connected in series and voltmeter always we connected with resistor with parallel. Okay, and then this circuit is connected to the rheostat and this is the key. So this is the electric circuit to study Ohm's law. Okay, now children, they may ask you this question, state Ohm's law. So what exactly the Ohm's law is stating and with what specific conditions, that let we see here. See children, Ohm's law. Ohm's law is stating us, Ohm's law states that current flowing through a conductor, in this circuit current is flowing. Can you see here? In this circuit here current is flowing, right? Yeah, current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference applied across the ends of the conductor. It means how much current we are sending, okay, how much current is flowing in this conductor, it is directly proportional to the potential difference. How much potential difference is there, that much current is there, it seems. Okay, how much current is produced, it is directly proportional to the potential difference applied across the ends of the conductor. But one condition is there in the Ohm's law, okay, but actually it's very difficult to maintain this, but Ohm's law is stating that by provided by physical conditions like temperature remains constant. Okay, so this is what the Ohm's law states. Ohm's law, what it is telling, how much current is there, that much potential difference is also there, or how much potential difference is there, that much current is also produced. That is what Ohm's law is stating, but this condition is very important, like provided by some physical conditions like temperature. Okay, this remains constant, it should remain constant, it should not vary. Okay, it should not vary. When this temperature like physical conditions are maintained constant, then current is directly proportional to potential difference, or potential difference is directly proportional to the current. That is what the Ohm's law is going to state here. So mathematically we can say that I is directly proportional to V. Can you see this children? I is directly proportional to V or V is directly proportional to I. It's so simple, right? Yeah, what is Ohm's law? Current flowing through the conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference applied across the conductor are the ends of the conductor by maintaining some physical conditions like temperature constant. So mathematically we can say I is directly proportional to V or V is directly proportional to I. In case here we can see here, when we say V is directly proportional to I, if we want to remove this proportionality symbol, okay, if you want to remove this proportionality symbol, then you have to introduce a proportionality constant. अगर से आप इस proportionality symbol को अगर से आप निकालना चाह रहे हैं तो इस जगह में हमारे को एक proportionality constant को ऐड करना पड़ेगा. Okay, so once I have removed this proportionality symbol, in place of this if I am going to write is equals to, then I am introducing a new symbol, that is R. Okay, if you want to remove this proportionality symbol, then you have to introduce a new symbol that is called as R, that is called as proportionality constant, that is called as proportionality constant. Here we have already described, we can see here V is equals to IR. What is R? R is proportionality constant. Is this clear? So this is a mathematical form of Ohm's law, where R is the proportionality constant, that is also called as the resistance of the conductor. It is called as what, children? The resistance of the conductor. R is called as resistance of the conductor. Let me see the graph of Ohm's law. See children, the graph here we can see we have two axes. So this is our x-axis. X-axis represents I, and we can see here y-axis. This y-axis represents V. So once we draw the graph V versus I or VI graph, then we get a straight line. We can see this is a slope. Can you see here this line? Yes, this line is nothing but slope. Okay, so we get a straight line. What we get, children? We get a straight line. So if we plot a graph of V versus I or VI graph, then we get a straight line. So this is your 1 mark carrying question. You should not forget it. From this line, what we can expect to learn? See children, the slope of the line V versus I gives the resistance of the conductor. It gives the resistance of the conductor. From this VI graph, easily we can identify how much resistance is there. It gives the resistance of the conductor. Now children, the SI unit of resistance is ohm. It is actually we called as omega, but we write it as ohm. This is the symbol of ohm. This is the SI unit of resistance. SI unit of resistance is ohm, and it is denoted by the symbol ohm, and it is called as omega. Now children, so one more thing we have to learn here, that is you may get this question to define this SI unit. What they may ask you, children? They may ask you to define SI unit. The question can be asked for you like this. What is define? The question can be asked for you like this. Define our definition of ohm. Define ohm. Define ohm. So how can you define ohm? Very simple. See children, as we all know that R is equals to what? V by I. So how this? Simple. We said that V is equals to IR or RI, correct? So if you want R, so V by I is equals to R. Keep R as it is, I cross multiplied, so R is equals to V by I. So from here we have got the form, that is what is the formula to find the resistance? That is R is equals to V by I. So when R is equals to V by I, that's nothing but when V is equals to 1 volt, when V is equals to 1 volt and current is 1 ampere, then current is 1 ampere, then R is nothing but 1 ohm. R is nothing but 1 ohm. So how can you define 1 ohm? 1 ohm is defined as when we pass a 1 volt, I mean 1 volt of potential difference and 1 volt and 1 ampere of current, then the resistance will be 1 ohm. So we can say that 1 ohm is equals to 1 volt by 1 ampere. 1 volt by 1 ampere, that's nothing but 1 V by 1A. 1 V by 1A. So how can you define this? The resistance of a conductor is said to be 1 ohm. If resistance of a conductor, if you want to say it is as 1 ohm, if 1 ampere of current, if 1 ampere of current flows if 1 ampere of current flows through it when the potential difference across the ends is 1 volt. So this is the definition of 1 ohm. How can you define? The resistance of a conductor is said to be 1 ohm if 1 ampere of current flows through it when the potential difference across the ends is 1 volt. So this is the definition of what, children? Ohm, 1 ohm. Now one more important concept that we want to study here, that is significance of R. They may ask you this question like this: write the significance of R. What will be the question, children? Write the significance of R. So what is the significance of R? See, children, R is nothing but the resistance, correct? No, R is nothing but the resistance, is a measure. So where we are using, children, this R to measure, is a measure to obstruction, to the flow of current. So what is the significance of R? The resistance is a measure to obstruction to the flow of current. Here is nothing but, see, children, I will give you some very important concepts related to this. What it means: if R is more, you should not forget this, children. If R is more, assume if R is more, then resistance is more and current is less. So this is the significance of R. So it helps us to measure the obstruction of the flow of current. Okay, how much current is how much the flow of current is been not used, that is what we are going to identify from R. It's the obstruction to the flow of current. If R is more, resistance is more and current is less. Understood? Now for the same value of potential difference, if the same value of potential difference, let me to write that word. For next point, let me say, for the same value of potential difference, okay, R is doubled. R is, if you double the value of R, if R is doubled, then what happens for current? Current gets halved, HALVED, half of that. Current gets halved. So you should not forget this. Okay, if R is more, resistance is more and current is less. If R is doubled, then currents gets halved. Means half of that. If it is double, then currents get halved. So this is called the significance of R. If they ask you to write the significance of R, then you are supposed to write this much: R is the resistance. R the resistance is a measure to obstruction to the flow of current. If R is more, resistance is more, current is less. If potential difference, if for the same value of potential difference, if R is doubled, then currents gets halved. Okay. Now they may ask you some basic definitions like this: what is resistor? They may ask you the question. What could be the question, children? The question can be like this: what is resistor? Say, children, for resistor also we write R only, for resistance also we denote by the symbol R only. Okay, so what is resistor? So a resistor is made up of a conducting material A resistor is made up of what, children? A conducting material. So generally we make this from alloy. Okay, alloy, and is therefore a physical object. A physical object, that is resistor. Resistor is made up of conducting material and is therefore a physical object. Then what is resistance? Then what is resistance? So resistance is nothing but it is the property of a resistor. It is a property of a resistor to obstruct the flow of current, passing through it. So it is a property of a resistor to obstruct the flow of current, means it will block the flow of current passing through it. That is what resistance will do. So resistance is nothing but it is a property of a resistor to obstruct the flow of current passing through it. So this is the difference between resistor and resistance. My dear students, one more thing we need to understand here, some properties and uses of some materials. Okay, this question is general question for you. They may ask you, okay, but you should know about this. Properties and uses of some material. Properties and some uses of material. So let me say, like, let me write the name of the material here, and what will be the resistance. Okay, then what happens to the current, okay, and uses of it, okay, and so let me give some examples. Let me study, children. For an example, let me take a material, insulator. What material I have taken? Insulator. What will be the resistance? It is very high. Resistance means current will not flow at all. Correct? No, that is very high. That is called resistance. Obstruct. It is obstructing, right? Means it is blocking. It is stopping the current. It is stopping the flow of current. In resistor, the resistance is very high. I hope now you have understood the definition of resistance. Now what will be the current? Zero. Uses, we can use this in electrical switches. Correct? We will use this in electrical switches, and insulation on electrical wiring, insulation for insulation purpose in electrical wiring. So these are the uses. Example, let me take rubber, plastic, etc. Okay, and next let me see semiconductors. What we are taking, children? Semiconductors. In this, resistance is moderate. In this means it's neither high nor low, moderate, and current will be small. Where we use this? We use this in electronic devices. Example, silicon, germanium. Okay, so these are the examples. And next let me take superconductors. In this, resistance is 0, current is very high. Where we use this? We use this for making super fast computers. And example, mercury at 4.2 Kelvin. Next is conductors. Next is what, children? Conductors. Metallic. Okay, so here if we take metallic conductors, it is very low, current is high. Where we use We use this in household wiring. In a house there is wiring, there is been done, right? Yes, we use this for making household wiring. Example, copper, aluminium, etc. Copper, aluminium, etc. And then let me see one more, like conductors. Let me study conductors. In that, resistance. Okay, so here what happens, children? Higher than metallic conductor, it is higher than metallic conductor resistance, and the current is moderate. Where we use this in electric toasters, electric heaters, etc. So here we can see example nichrome. Okay, nichrome is there, constantine is there, manganese is there. Okay, like that, of course. Okay, nichrome, I'll just show you of nichrome. So nichrome will be like 60%. You no need to write this, just remember. Like chromium is 12%, manganese is 2%, ferrous, that is iron, is 26%. So these are the things we use to make conductors, resistance. Okay, so means electric toasters and heaters. Done. So last, let me study one more, if conductors, some conductors are there, resistance, okay, here is higher, then current will be like moderate. We use this in electric bulbs. Example, tungsten. We use W. Okay, tungsten. So this is what some properties and uses of some materials. Okay, is this clear? And children's, one thing you need to remember, that is, if when we draw a slope for V versus I, if we get a straight line, then it obeys Ohm's law. But some conductors are there which they does not obey Ohm's law. Okay, the conductors which does not obey Ohm's law, then how will be the graph? The graph will be like this. Okay, so this is the graph, you should not forget this. This is the graph for the conductors which does not obey Ohm's law. So if any conductor, if it is not obeys Ohm's law, then the graph will be a curve. It is not a straight line. Okay, if we get a curve, not straight line, in any of the other irregular shape, it means that it does not obey Ohm's law. I hope you have understood. So what is Ohm's law and what is the significance of R and some properties and uses of some materials we have discussed. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you all have understood this session, right? Good. Wish you all the best of luck. In our next video, we are going to discuss about verification of Ohm's law and with some practical examples. Got it? Thank you. Do not forget to subscribe our YouTube channel Evershine Coaching Groups and click the bell icon, and do not forget to like and share this video to your all friends. Let they also try to understand the basics of this chapter and score a very good marks in the upcoming board exam. Thank you.